On the very first day when I opened my office desk drawer, the sight inside took my breath away. Instead of files and paperwork, there were lethal weapons neatly arranged. At that moment, I realized I had made a massive mistake. My resume hadn't landed at an ordinary company, but at an assassination agency. I wanted to quit immediately, but then the boss gave me an offer. A $600,000 salary, 1 day of work with 6 days off, and overtime pay. I said yes instantly. My entrance test was to eliminate a target. Initially, I was nervous, but the moment I saw the man, I pulled the trigger without hesitation. The boss was stunned. As it turned out, the target was my former boss. The next day, I considered quitting. After all, who would want a job like this? But when the boss learned it was my first hit, he praised me, calling me a natural talent. It was the first time I had ever been appreciated for my work, and I was overjoyed. I abandoned the idea of leaving. My second target was a criminal who had harmed many girls. I hesitated again, but before the boss could even finish explaining the details, I quickly agreed. However, when I arrived at the scene, I wavered once more. After all, he was still a human being. But as I passed the man, I noticed his performance rating was only 3 points. Without a second thought, I quietly slipped behind him and struck. The man tumbled down the stairs and died instantly. After finishing the job, I returned home. That night, I called my mother and told her I had found a job I truly loved. When she asked what I did, I simply replied, I clean up the trash. The next day, the company assigned me and my partner Jack to a job at an underground casino. For my safety, Jack told me to hide, and I did. When Jack finished the job, I suddenly appeared right in front of him. He was shocked. He hadn't realized I had been near him the entire time. It was then I realized that my presence was almost undetectable. To be successful, I would have to strike from the shadows. I began to practice using Jack as my target. Jack would frequently get an eerie feeling that someone was behind him, but every time he turned around, there was nothing to see. As we were about to return, Jack noticed a car tailing us. To test me, he handed me a gun. What happened next left him speechless. In that moment, he was convinced the boss was right. I was a genius.